since the debate last month, it seems like the conversations have largely moved away from talking about the top issues, those issues that really matter to voters. But what are those issues? Are they still the economy, inflation, immigration? What did you find?
Absolutely. So, not much has changed in terms of voters' concerns. By a margin of almost 2 to 1, or a factor of almost 2 to 1, voters feel that they are worse off today in terms of their personal finances rather than their personal finances improving. That's because price increases and inflation is the number one issue that they say is facing the country today and is facing them today, followed by immigration, which is second at 30%, the economy and jobs third at 24%, and then you have a drop off from there in a series of other middling issues like guns, crimes and drugs, healthcare, which are roughly at 15 to 16% each. So the top issues remain the same. They are tabletop issues. They relate to affordability. They relate to inflation. They relate to the health of the economy. And then certainly there's a big concern about the southern border that I would say is the second biggest issue in the country right now.
Dritan, from what we know, what are you watching out for next as the RNC continues, as the DNC is next month?
Well, voters are clear in that they want the Republican National Convention to focus on a vision for the future, to focus on issues, and to focus on solutions. 89% said that they would rather have that than a litigation of why we ended up where we are, why the shooting happened, why the dynamic of this race has had the dynamic that it has. Again, as I mentioned before, 9 in 10 Americans seldom agree on anything, and it's very clear that voters are overwhelmed by the rhetoric. They are underwhelmed by the lack of solutions being brought forward by the major parties and their candidates, and they actually want uh, a race for the next 3 to 4 months that's really focused on problem solving, that's focused on common sense, that goes beyond personalities. And I will say that so far, the Trump campaign has played into that. And that's what they're trying to give voters with their restraint and with essentially focusing on the future, less so the events that transpired 48 to 72 hours ago.